Okay. Ey, Peace, Leute. Yo, first of all, bevor ihr hier weiter seht, checkt unten Timestamps ab, ne? Das ist jetzt ein Intro, also skippt das Intro einfach, das ist belongendes Gelaber, das ist unwichtig und so. Also, okay, wie gesagt, kurze Introduction hier. Ich wollte eigentlich streamen, ich habe auch gestreamt, ihr findet den Fetzen auch unter Vylon Etherblight auf Twitch. Das ist ja so gearchived, ich habe es ja so eingestellt. Ultra-Schrott-Stream, ich hatte keinen Plan, was ich tue. Der erste Stream voll verschissen und so, deswegen ist noch das Live-Verkacken, das aufgezeichnete Live-Verscheißen ist live on, also ihr könnt es euch hier reinziehen. Deswegen machen wir das jetzt so. Ich sehe das jetzt hier gerade in meinem OBS-Interface. Also, wenn ich zum Beispiel jetzt den hier mache, so. Ich habe das eben erst rausgefunden, dass ich auch in OBS, wenn ich jetzt einfach direkt auf Browser wechsle, oh shit, ihr könnt meine Fratze hier oben sehen und den Stream, aber also theoretisch, wie gesagt, ich bin jetzt in meinem OBS-Interface, würde ich jetzt aber auf den Browser switchen, dann würde ich natürlich meine Facecam halt nicht mehr sehen, mein Overlay. Deswegen checke ich das gerade aus OBS ab. Ich würde sagen, wir gehen mal kurz rein. So. Es sind noch ein paar Minuten, wie gesagt, ich war schon drin und so. Und ich benutze die Zeit jetzt hier, um kurz zu labern, was ich denke, oder beziehungsweise was ich vorher dachte, was drankommt. Und by the way, ne, nebenbei, ultra healthy motherfucking arterial clogging Snack hier, der Insi-Modus Cheese Bread Danger Snack in the house mit extra Salami oben drauf und in der Mikrowelle aufgeheizt. Heftig, Alter. Cuisine, Alter, richtig Bombe. Also zum Stream, ne? Wie gesagt, ich war schon drin, also keine Live-Reaction mehr. Ich hatte zuvor gedacht, ich habe am Samstag das Tweet gelesen und wusste dann, was abgeht, aber ich hatte zuvor gedacht, ja, jetzt werden wir ja den Loot gezeigt bekommen und so und Social Space, ne, und so ein Scheiß. Also ich hatte wirklich eigentlich nicht viele Erwartungen und so ein Scheiß. Auch wenn das jetzt, wie gesagt, so eine Filler-Expansion ist, ich dachte mir so, okay, Bungie hatte bestimmt nicht genug Zeit und sowas, das jetzt so richtig auszubauen und so. Also ich erwarte nicht viel. Erwartungen sind eher unten, sind eher low, ne? Ja. Und in wenigen Sekunden geht das Ding ja dann auch gleich los und dann hänge ich mit euch nochmal eine Stunde hier ab, Mann. Geil, Alter, voll heftig. Es gab ein paar Dinge, da hatte ich drüber gelabert, also da muss ich wirklich nochmal... Da hatte ich, glaube ich, irgendeinen Scheiß gelabert und dann da hatten die irgendwie welche Witze gemacht, da habe ich halt drüber gekeut und das habe ich nicht gehört. Aber naja. Ja, natürlich kann ich jetzt keine sagen, oh, Erwartungen, Suggestions, ne? Ich kenne das ja jetzt alles schon, also... Naja. Wie gesagt, wir ziehen uns das jetzt nochmal zusammen rein. Aber, ja, okay, falls ihr euch jetzt noch entscheidet, ob ihr euch das reinziehen wollt, ja, so Bombe ist das jetzt nicht, gell? Sag ich euch gleich vorne rein. Okay, Mucke wird leiser. Scheint so, als geht's gleich los. Let's kick it, man. Los, Bungie. Los, Bungie. Digga, wie lange braucht denn das? Naja, okay. Also irgendwann bei 11 Minuten geht's los, glaube ich. Ich check nochmal. Ja. Nur noch Augenblicke. Ich skippe trotzdem mal. Oh shit.
Hello everyone, good morning, good evening, good day, and good time zone to you all, and welcome back to our second of 3 live streams to go ahead and talk about what's going to be coming with Destiny 2 Into the Light on April 9th. As a reminder, everything you're about to see is available to all players, just as was everything last week when we went ahead and had a chance to go ahead and walk through Onslaught. Now, today we've obviously got a few topics that we touched on last week. We got a new social space to go ahead and check out. We're going to look at some rewards, obviously, and maybe an up-close and personal look at the Brave Arsenal. But of course, I'm not the only one who's going to be talking through it. I'm joined by an all-star cast of folks here from the Bungie development team, and I'm going to go ahead and go on down the line and introduce them. If you were here last week, you obviously recognize his face, but Tom Farnsworth, Senior Design Lead, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, yeah. And, a little bit about myself here. I've been at Bungie for about 12 years, maybe a little longer. It's been a while.
A decade plus.
And obviously there's some stuff we're going to be looking at today that's kind of like full circle.
Yeah.
With, the Space Tiger logo and Into the Light there from the early days of Destiny. And I've been fortunate to, I was able to place the Kavastov way back in Cosmo for y'all to pick up.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, that was something. Obviously, it was foundation. Teams are stronger than heroes is a big team effort, but there's a few things that I'm really had a chance to work and proud to interact with players. And then there's some things I'm a little more infamous for, like placing the drop pods in Homecoming.
So follow him on Twitter, let him know how you thought about that. Right.
And then over the past few years, I've been working on on seasons and things like the 30th and Into the Light as a creative lead.
Awesome. Very cool. Thank you very much for your hard work. As someone who's played a lot of it, excited to go ahead and dive in more with even more of it today. And of course, also we're joined by Chris Proctor, Senior Design Lead here at Bungie. Chris, for the fine folks at home who may not have heard you on a podcast or know anything about you,
Kenn den auch
can you
irgendwo
tell us a
her.
little bit about yourself and what you do?
Hab man schon mal gehört von ihm.
Yeah, handy, thanks. Yeah, I joined Bungie 4.5 years ago as weapons feature lead for Destiny 2. So a bunch of Destiny releases. This will be my 17th with Into the Light.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
7.
Greatest hits.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. We obviously have a lot of stuff to talk through with the Brave Arsenal today, and greatest hits, I think, is probably the best way to describe it. And of course, last but very not least, down at the end, the one and only Kelsey Rice, systems designer here at Bungie. Kelsey, how you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great.
All right, well,
Thanks for having me.
obviously the third verse, same as the second and the first. For the folks at home who may not know you or know anything about your work, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at Bungie?
Yes, I'd love to. First, yes, I'm a systems designer at Bungie. I've been here for about 2.5 years, and I work on a lot of fun stuff like quests and pursuits and progressions, a lot of like spreadsheet design, which I
The
really love.
fabric that holds all of our adventures together, honestly.
Yes.
Very exciting. Well, obviously,
Frag mich
you've
irgendwie
had
so ein
a big
bisschen, ob
hand in
irgendwas
the
war auf
last
diesem
today. We're
Tisch.
gonna go ahead and dive into
So ein
that here in just a
bisschen
bit. But you know, before we go ahead and dive
feiner
on,
Shape
is there
Stuff,
anything you
also
guys
so
are excited about today in
Giveaway
particular,
Merch
or
oder
should we
sowas.
just
Also
go ahead
halt
and show rather than just tell? What do
Hinweis-Merch.
you think? Show it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and dive on in.
Also wie gesagt, alles andere rundherum in dem Raum ist ja relativ bekannt so.
The
hinten
Hall
auch
of
die
Champions that we're going to go ahead and check
Whisper.
on out. Kelsey, show you. Kelsey's the one who's responsible for taking us through that.
Da habe ich vorhin
show you
versehentlich
the throne
geskippt.
world, obviously, and dive on in.
Bring me your tithes.
Perfect, excellent. That's right. There are tithes to be gathered. Now, while we're on the way, Tom, Hall of Champions is a brand new social space here in
Yeah.
Destiny 2. Where is this? Where are we gonna where's this place?
Das
been?
habe ich
Why are we
vorhin
checking it
verpasst.
out now?
So SHAXX has carved out just a little bit of the backstage of the tower.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a few little fun nods here to Destiny history.
Yep. All right, we're looking at it now on screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we got
Sweepy
Kelsey on
boy.
screen here. We got Sweepy Bot, and this is actually the lead up to the Hall of Champions.
This is
Ah,
where they keep it all the time.
ja.
Yeah, this is where,
Okay.
There's an off season for a lot of the holiday events.
Yeah.
Okay. Das ist eine geile Idee, so Backstage Stuff.
So there's some greenery.
This is interesting. All right, so we found a bit of the storage
Ey,
room.
das finde ich ja eigentlich mal geil.
So he's carved out space maybe that has been hiding in plain view potentially for other sweeper bots or red jacks around the tower.
And there's some stuff from the
Onslaught.
Onslaught, this ADU.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's a little
Noah put it here himself.
no, and all the space. Like if we just take a step forward here.
Ich frage mich, wo man dann landet.
Here's the Champions Hall.
Here, the Hall of Champions. All right, so this is the Hall of Champions.
Oh
And
yeah.
just
Ich meine, ich habe es schon
like,
gesehen,
Zero
aber trotzdem
kind of
geil.
carved out Eternity for the 30th anniversary. SHAXX has kind of set this space aside for us and into the
Sieht auch
light
einfach
where
irgendwie
all
arschgeil
your
aus.
armor, your weapons, your rewards. This is going to be your home base for Into the Light.
Excellent. Awesome. All right. Well, Kelsey, can you go ahead and show us a little bit? We're going to go ahead and walk up here. We see a whole bevy of chests, actually. Let's go ahead and start there. What are we looking at, and how do we go ahead and start cracking these open, rather?
Yeah, so as you can see, this space is just full of chests. As you can see here, all the class icons on the floor, a little bit like
Ah.
30th.
Ja, ja.
You can come here to redeem this currency, trophies of bravery, that you're going to earn from completing Onslaught and from playing the broad game in Destiny. So all of these trophies here, if you progress your hype with SHAXX, you'll be able to spend them here at all these chests to get a really cool set of armor.
Ich finde es eigentlich ganz geil. So
See
irgendwie.
what that looks like
Es
on
kommt auch so ein
Hunter.
bisschen,
That's right. Also, too,
so wie
so for the
versetzt
folks
das
at
ist, das
home,
erinnert mich auch ein
we
bisschen
went
an
ahead and mentioned this
Anthem.
as well online,
Wenn du
but as a quick
verschiedene
reminder, this is actually
Titans.
an armor set that's inspired by Year 1.
Das ist halt irgendwie wie so
of
ein
Destiny
Hangar.
2. Tom, this is the parade armor set, I believe, is what we're referring to it as.
So like it's the
Parade.
the D2 Year 1 parade armor.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
You had it in Homecoming. It's kind of a classic set. We're again like full circle here. With we were like beginning the Destiny 2 saga there, and now we're kind of ending the fight here. We're getting ready to take the fight to the Witness, and SHAXX has got this iconic set of armor. We're calling it the Parade Armor 2.0.
Yeah.
And everyone can earn it. It's available to all players.
Excellent.
And there's some other cosmetics we can show off here that kind of play with it too.
Very nice.
Leider,
And also,
wahrscheinlich
too,
ist
for,
unter den
folks
Treppen
out
da jetzt
there,
nicht
we
irgendwas
obviously
Cooles
have the
oder so.
Hunter here. Actually, Kelsey, can we check out the armor set one more time?
Ist das ein
Folks at
Helm?
home.
Ja, das sieht da irgendwie aus wie
Also
ein Helm.
too, so this is an up close and personal look, obviously, at this armor set, which will be available to everyone that goes ahead and jumps into the light. Also too, there's a Titan set and a Warlock set, we should also say. That you can go ahead and see in the key art as well, but obviously this will be arriving on April 9th, so you'll get a chance to go ahead and go hands-on. But Yeah, it's looking fresh, honestly. I'm not too. I wouldn't be upset to go ahead and don that armor.
Ich bin irgendwie so ein bisschen curious für die Titan-Armor, wenn das so an Jahr 1 angelehnt ist.
Because we were kind of waiting to finally see that set, and finally being able to equip it in game was just such a cool experience.
Yeah, honestly. All right, so we're obviously equipped. We've got an armor set that we're going to go ahead and be chasing down, but we're now hanging out with SHAXX, and is that Arcite over there as well?
Schmacksy boy.
Yes, that is Arcite. And one last chest I want to point out here.
Oh,
too.
please.
This one is going to be your hub for just grinding out weapons. So those trophies that you'll be collecting with SHAXX, you can just keep redeeming them here, and you'll be able to get all your guns here. And this one here is, we're bringing back the Gift of the Thunder Gods. So if you need to catch up on your power level to make sure that you're like ready to hop right in, that's something you can do as well.
That's right, and honestly, it's again, as a reminder, this is available to all players, and so if you've got any friends that maybe aren't quite at that powerful cap, also too, actually, to double check, this will bring folks up to the powerful cap, was it?
Powerful, not pinnacle.
That's right, okay, perfect, all right. So for your friends that want to go ahead and dive in right alongside you, even if they maybe haven't played, very much recently, they got a chance to go ahead and just catch right up.
They'll be ready.
Be ready for day one, that's
Yeah.
right, okay, perfect.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and talk to SHAXX actually as a starting point. So how are we going to be working with SHAXX, obviously? He's opened up his Den of Antiquities to us, but Kelsey, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so we need to pull out all the stops in defeating the Witness. So SHAXX has opened up his Brave arsenal for us. And as you can see, SHAXX is really like the shining star of this area. I've been kind of panning by all these hollow SHAXXs that line the space, which I'll be happy to talk about in a moment.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, let's go talk to him and see what he's got.
Finde ich auch gerne mal solche neuen
over the course
Interfaces.
of Into the Light, as you
Ja, ist geil.
earn reputation with him, you're going to be able to progress and get all this cool stuff. One thing in particular I want to point out.
Interesting.
This key.
A super black key, is that
Ja,
what I'm seeing over there,
da
Kelsey?
ist es, was ich halt vorhin so
Okay.
abgefuckt fand.
Yeah,
Stimmt.
and I wonder where that goes.
So maybe people that are D1 vets potentially from back in the day might remember this. Is this what's this symbiote
Ja,
we're looking back?
das Ding da, keine Ahnung.
Yeah, right
das
now
das
it's,
Black
it's
Heart?
pretty powerful. It's in containment.
Aus dem
But
Black
if
Garden?
you keep playing Into the Light,
Weißt du, ich mein?
you'll be able to get access
Wahrscheinlich,
to the
denke ich mir
key
auch schon irgendwie so.
to unlock this. Get
Ist
access.
das irgendwie so eine Art Black Heart-Dingens?
All right. So obviously, too, yes, as a reminder, heads up to everyone. So one of the ultimate rewards available through this will indeed be the return of the Super Black Shader. It's back, finally. It's back. There's
Ja.
probably some song lyrics to go along with that. I couldn't tell you what they are.
Checkt
But I
euch
will
das kurz
say
mal
to
aus,
the
ne?
Destiny Fashion subreddit, we are prepared for you to go ahead and take this on wholesale. So actually, let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead and just
Ja.
equip Super Black and get it
Siehste?
up really quickly.
Ja, wow. Und da habe ich mir gedacht, Digga, war das nicht letztens im letzten Lostival ein Memento zum Grinden? Warum ist es jetzt ein Shader, Digga? Weißt
So
du?
SHAXX is obviously going to be there to help us get rewards. In addition to the Brave Arsenal and the armor,
Yeah,
Super
whatever.
Black is waiting for us. So tell us a little bit about Arcite as well, actually. He's I'm not sure if many people in the chat know about him. He's usually lived in lore entries, but let's go ahead and get a look and see
Ich glaube,
what
das war ja
we're gonna be working with
SHAXX's
him on.
Gunsmith oder SHAXX's Weapon Master in Destiny 1 auf dem Tower.
Arcite has a lot of quests for us.
Ja, das finde ich aber wiederum auch cool, hier so
Some pretty
dieses
interesting things in my opinion. With,
ja, dieses
some of the quests you can pick up from
Quest-spezifische
Arcite.
Crafting da, oder?
They're gonna unlock a couple
Als
of things. They also
Weapon-spezifische.
have very fun puns that we had a lot of fun working on. For every single weapon that we're going to be talking about today, there's a corresponding quest. Once you've completed the quest for that weapon, you're going to be able to unlock access to that weapon, dropping as rewards. But there's two other really cool things.
Ich gehe mal kurz rüber direkt auf in den Stream.
One, we have these special limited edition appearances for the Brave Arsenal.
Yeah.
So completing these quests, you're going to get a guaranteed, curated copy of these like, limited edition weapons,
Excellent.
which I'm happy to show because they look rad. And you'll unlock attunement, which is something I can talk about in a second.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so let's take a look at some of these.
So here's a look, of course.
Yeah,
Obviously, for the folks
Return,
at
Digga.
home, they may remember this one. I get a hunch that chat obviously is getting a little excited, but I know it's so exciting. The mountaintop has returned. So this is a quick look at the mountaintop. Obviously, Chris, we're going to dive in more with the whole Brave Arsenal.
Ich finde auch immer nice, dass die diesen Tigerman in diesem Visier haben. So in dem Holo-Visor.
The ornaments that exist on there. Can
Finde
you
ich
tell us a
eigentlich
little
voll
bit
geil.
about what the limited edition variants of these are that are available over the course of Into the Light?
Sure, yeah. So the Brave Arsenal weapons will drop from Onslaught, and we're talking a little bit about attunement and whatnot here. There is a low chance that one will drop as a limited edition variant, which comes pre-equipped with a super shiny ornament that's locked to that weapon.
Yeah.
So the Edge Transit here is the limited edition variant. These are kind of exotic levels of fancy.
Yeah.
So you can't apply shaders to the ornaments. You have to remove the ornament first.
Got it.
The ornaments will only be available up until the final shape launches.
Yeah.
Or the limited edition variants.
Makes sense.
So the base versions will continue to be available.
All right. So there's the ultimate I was there version with the limited edition on there, but other than that, after the final shape launches, people will still be able to get these weapons and keep farming for them.
Yeah, there's they have super cool visuals. They drop with double perks in both trait columns, but they don't have any other gameplay.
Also wie ich das vorhin kapiert habe, ist es eigentlich nur, diese Weapons sind jetzt nur zu Into the Light available. So habe ich es vorhin kapiert. Das sagen die auch später noch.
We're going to go through all of these here in just a bit. Chat, there's a taste of just a few. We're glad that you get a chance to go ahead and check
Ich frage mich auch, was
that
auf dem
out.
Display hinter
Also,
Arcite auf
for the
den
folks that want to go ahead
Terminals
and farm these rolls out. Kelsey, I believe you just mentioned attunement. Can you tell us a little bit more about that before we move on?
Yes, I'd love to. So one cool thing that you can do when completing these weapon quests, once they're available at Arcite, is attune to a weapon. So let's say that there's a weapon you really want to drop. You can bend luck in your favor and make it more likely for that weapon to appear. So for example, I can do that now. Let's do Recluse.
Yeah.
So
Chat seems to be pretty hyped on Recluse.
So if you're looking around, you'll see there's all of these SHAXXs everywhere, which we just had an absolute blast working with and coming up with. And once you've unlocked attunement, you can just freely do this at any time. You can change your attunement at any time. You can choose which weapon has a higher chance of dropping. So I'm going to do it now.
Ich weiß nicht.
Okay.
Es gibt ziemlich viele SHAXXs für nicht allzu viele Weapons. Ihr werdet sehen, es sind insgesamt 12 Weapons, die jetzt hier in Brave Arsenal Return haben.
Yes.
Und so viele SHAXXs stehen hier wirklich 12 SHAXXs rum.
At any point, you can just visit another one. I could even just go and, unattune and reattune to my heart's content. Just once you've unlocked it, you can do that at any time. Awesome. So yeah, pick your favorites that you want to chase, and you'll have a much higher chance of getting them.
Excellent. All right. Obviously, the Hall of Champions has a lot in store. There's even more, obviously, chat than is even here, but we see what you're saying in chat. I feel the electricity in the air. I should also note one more thing. You should all go out and farm with impunity to go ahead and get the rolls you want, ultimately, because with the arrival of the final shape, we'll indeed be adding 100 more vault slots. So go out there, grab the rolls, grab 27 Edge Transits, hold on to them until you get a chance to Google which one has the God roll. All up to you, but we just wanted to let you know that with the arrival of the final shape, you'll be getting 100 more vault slots. So go ahead and dive on in and grab whatever you want to go ahead and chase. Excellent. All right. Well, I think that's a solid tour of the Hall of Champions. I think maybe at this point we go ahead and start diving on in with the Brave Arsenal. Tom, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'll hop in. Let's go clean out some lost sectors.
There we go.
Lost Sectors. Here we go, ne? Wo der Fun
As a quick
beginnt.
look at the Hall of Champions as well. Now we're going to go ahead and dive on in and look at the Brave Arsenal. Now, Chris, obviously you were intrinsically involved with kind of setting this whole thing up, with building the Brave Arsenal, deciding what was out there.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you guys landed on this iconic set of Destiny weapons for Into the Light?
Yeah, and we all have our own favorite weapons internally, and wanted to make sure that we delivered on a ton of nostalgia for the whole Destiny 2 weapon set.
Yeah.
If you look on Reddit or Twitter, there are hundreds of weapons that these could be. We had to narrow it down to 12. We couldn't reasonably fit any more into the activity.
Yeah.
We couldn't necessarily afford to make many more than that.
Here we go.
So it's a whole set of weapons from across Destiny's history. A few recent ones.
Auch ein paar Raid-Weapons sind dabei, ne?
Yeah. So for those who have been terrorized by Blast Furnace,
Sitzt ja da im Prime-Slot.
Yeah.
Obviously. Yeah, honestly, Tom, let's go ahead and just kind of walk through these. Let's go ahead and take us at a hung jury I see next as well.
Sure, I can just, do you want me to
Okay,
I'll just
start with the
mouse
blast.
over them here. Blast Furnace, Hung Jury.
Jury returns
Succession halt aus Deep Zone, ne?
For anyone that hasn't had a chance to dive in.
Finde ich ein bisschen scheiße eigentlich, dass man so Raid-Weapons
touch on
nimmt, ne?
Succession. And
Yeah,
there's,
please.
4 variants in there as well. But these are fairly recent weapons, but they are, by default, you have to own the release that those raids came out in. So you have to own Beyond Light if you want to get Succession. You have to own Witch Queen
Ach so.
if you want to get Forbearance.
Yeah.
The Onslaught versions of these weapons, or the Brave Arsenal versions, are available to all players. So
Ach
you
so,
get a taste of what, like, the raw power of a raid weapon.
Yeah.
Also ich weiß nicht, ob die Implementierung dann ein bisschen taktisch gewesen ist, so im Sinne von wie, okay, wenn ihr jetzt noch nicht Beyond Light habt, aber das ist Succession, weil hier jetzt in Brave Armory, vielleicht holt ihr euch auch Beyond Light dann. Ja, Midnight Coup.
Actually, can you adjust it just so it shows the waves in the
Ja,
Tom?
vor allem ich finde auch dieses geil, dieses, ich weiß nicht, dieses dunkel Smaragde oder dieses halt, ich weiß nicht, ob das Türkis ist, dunkles Türkis mit Gold. Wenn der es shiftet, dann switcht das so zu Violett. Das finde ich halt ziemlich geil. So quasi perspektivenabhängiges Color Changing.
We're just as happy that it's back as you are. Let's go ahead and take a look at what else we got in store there. Luna's Howl, of course. Actually, in particular with Luna's Howl, I know we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but you know, these weapons are not necessarily their previous estate, just kind of held in stasis, but you guys have brought them forward with new perks. You've kind of done some redesigns as well. With Luna Howls in particular, you were mentioning that the Magnificent Howl perk has undergone a rework as well.
Yeah, in its original shipping form, that was way too strong, because it would let you two-tap a Guardian in PvP incredibly fast with the perk up.
Yeah.
180 RPM. So we've brought Luna's Howl forward as a 140 RPM hand cannon, but it retains the precision frame, so it's super easy to control the recoil.
Yeah.
We've also redesigned the Magnificent Howl perk, so that now lets you build up stacks of super bullets, a little bit reminiscent of Hawkmoon, with precision final blows, and then you can unleash those on Guardians to do massive damage. You can get a two-tap, but it requires a little bit more effort. Yeah. And obviously very strong in PvE as well.
Yeah, got to bide your time and actually land those headshots. Yeah. I'm saying that mostly to myself in the mirror.
Ihr werdet euch das auch noch sehen, der Host hier, Salisbury, wie auch immer hier, Andy Salisbury, der haut immer solche Flavortext-Jokes raus, also immer solche Lorem Ipsum eingefügten, wahrscheinlich Script-Jokes. Ich verstehe, er ist der Host und er muss den Ball halten, aber naja. Es wirkt halt sehr Fanboy-studierte Line-Style.
We have an actual debt to settle internally here by the sounds of it. Which one do you think is going to win, Chris?
I'm a little biased.
Little biased?
I have my Midnight Coup from the Leviathan raid still in the vault.
Oh yeah.
I'm deeply attached to that weapon.
Fair enough. All right.
Sieht ja auch arschgeil aus eigentlich. Wird sich so vom Looks, zockt ihr sich auch geil. Ja, Elsie's Rifle.
The Stranger's Rifle. This is Elsie's rifle now.
Yeah, Elsie's no longer a stranger.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, this is a really iconic Destiny 1 weapon.
Finde ich eigentlich auch ein nicer Touch dann.
Would have acquired as the Stranger's Rifle.
Elsie's Rifle.
It's come forward with as close to its original feel as we could manage, updated for the Destiny 2 sandbox. It's got a ton of cool new traits. It's really very, very strong, high impact pulse rifle. It's running the Rewind rounds perk, which we made for Bolt of Glass.
Yeah.
The D2 version, which harks back to the original perks on the Stranger's Rifle.
Nice, dafür das auch erstmal gehen.
Looks filthy, if I might say, with Zen Moment and Desperado on there. Like
Desperado,
Did the room get colder, or what just happened, honestly? And also, too, so there's a new, actually, as long as we're there, Tom, if you wouldn't mind actually opening that back up, there's a new origin trait, pardon me, as well on these.
Yeah.
Indomitability.
Right. So yeah, the Indomitability trait, final blows with a light subclass equipped grant grenade energy, and with a dark subclass equipped grant melee energy.
Excellent.
So you get like that sort of duality, and they're reasonably strong perks.
Yeah, designed to keep you in the fight either way.
Yep.
Excellent. All right, Tom, let's go ahead and keep
seine Jokes, man. Seine Comments.
Forbearance as well. So this is, you were talking about obviously getting that taste of raid weapons.
Yeah.
How did you guys go ahead and bring Forbearance forward also into the light? Like, what did you add new perks into the pool, or what did you guys end up doing to kind of retain that classic feel?
Yeah, so we wanted it to feel like the Witch Queen version, but with slightly updated perks. So the perk pools are fairly similar, but with a couple of spicy additions. So you'll notice Disruption Break left column on a waveframe grenade launcher, super, super strong. Yeah. It's not something that you get on the original version.
It'd be disgusting.
Yeah, but it's got all of the old classics. It's got the new Indomitability origin trait instead of the Soul Drinker trait. And that's the same is true of any other weapons which had already shipped with origin traits.
Ich meine, es war nice, dass man jetzt hier auch mal eine Raid Grenade Launcher kriegt, aber halt, wie gesagt.
A limited edition ornament on the Recluse as well that you have over there?
Yep, there's a base and
ich finde es halt nicht so geil eigentlich, ehrlich gesagt, dass man Raid Weapons da rausholt, so ein bisschen. Das finde ich halt.
Ultimate, I was there. As you go ahead and begin your showdown with the Witness, with the arrival of the final shape, it doesn't hurt to have one of these sitting on your hip, obviously, to go ahead and make a statement the moment you walk into the room.
Yeah, this one is the
fucking stabil.
The natural drops of the limited edition variants do have
Double perk. That's right.
Ich habe es vorhin schon gesehen im Gameplay. Die ist ziemlich stabil. Also
And of
im
course,
Recoil.
our beloved Edge Transit.
Yeah,
Couldn't
when
keep
we
it
were-
away if we wanted to.
When we were looking at the fan favorite weapons, like we wanted to bring forward some of the strongest weapons from
Ich
Facility.
weiß nicht, war das nicht eine Raid, eine Gambit Gun?
Blasting away raid bosses with that transit.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. There's amazing memes associated with this weapon.
Yeah.
We actually brought it forward as one of the strongest heavy ammo grenade launchers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we were talking about that earlier. You're saying this one just hits like an absolute ton of bricks now.
Oh yeah, you can see some of the perks there. It's pretty wild.
I mean, honestly, yeah, this is looking pretty good. This is one that would obviously find a home in my loadout. My Void one specifically, but I'm also picky about that kind of thing. All right, what else do we have here in this bottom row? The one and only, the Falling Guillotine. Now, actually, one thing that you mentioned as we were kind of talking about this earlier as well that was kind of cool is this is also going to be probably the first sword outside of those available in Crota's End, I believe, that has sword logic on it as well.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
right.
roll with sword logic.
Seemed like a great opportunity to put that perk on something that isn't from that raid, and
Yeah.
a little bit earlier than we would normally put raid perks onto a new weapon.
Yeah. I'm also going to
Seemed
echo
like-
chat here for a second. Is that Eager Edge I see on there?
That is an Eager Edge, yeah.
Okay.
It'll only be the second sword outside of 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
to have access to
It
that.
would basically just be the Slammer and then the Falling Guillotine
Yeah,
from... Yeah, that's it. That's exciting.
Yeah, and this one has like the classic Void perk combo of Repulsor Brace,
Yeah.
destabilizing rounds. It's good fun, and a lot of other strong
It
ones.
just doesn't get old, honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we're also joined by
Yeah, die Hammerhead, Mann.
Hammerhead, honestly. It's
Vom
almost-
Design einer meiner,
it's almost
also
your
eigentlich
tipping
mein
your toe into
Favorite,
the Black
MG.
Armory. This is obviously one that has to come forward.
Everyone's favorite legendary machine gun.
Yeah, seriously.
Can't go past it.
Auch
Just
mal,
from the sound, the rate of fire, everything
also der
about it
Nozzle,
just
das
is
Nozzle
one of
Fire
those
immer,
on my
diese
favorites in
Energy
my Doom
Bursts,
journals, honestly, at this point.
diese Black Armory Energy Waves.
All right, so we have a whole cast of characters. Now, Tom, you've got some loadouts set up. You've got some lost sectors that you're going to go ahead
Ja,
and
Lost
start diving
Sectors.
in on. I vote you go in there and
Get
start tearing
going.
it up.
Also Leute, wie gesagt, ab jetzt wird's ultra lame. Ab jetzt würde ich euch raten, schaltet auf, Digga. Ich gehe trotzdem nochmal durch mit euch. Ach ja, das ist übrigens nice, by the way.
Right. So
Das finde ich eigentlich ganz
I'm
gut.
so glad we got to
Dieses
that point this
Lifting.
early because one of the things that was really cool about sort of seeing this development process behind the scenes was, you know, obviously one of the core tenets was to make sure that you're retaining that classic feel of these weapons and kind of what made them so great to begin
Was ich mir ja
with.
trotzdem frage,
But
kann man
you
jetzt
kind
wieder
of
so
redesigns and expanded even just on the-
Mountaintop-mäßig climben? Also kann man wieder auf seine Granaten steigen, wie damals im Garden of Salvation Raid, wo man quasi diese eine Wall, wo man diese Grenades in die Wall geballert hat und dann auf die Grenade gejumpt ist und sowas. Geht das jetzt noch mit diesem neuen Frame da, mit diesem Explosion-Frame-Dingens?
In PvP, it was like a pretty unpleasant
Yeah.
meta when Mountaintop was part of everyone's loadout, so we definitely didn't want it to be able to one-hit kill, even with a direct hit in PvP anymore.
Fair.
So we've reduced that a little bit. But
Okay,
we
weniger
also,
Damage auf jeden Fall.
Saw how excited people were for the Danger Zone rocket launcher perk, launching you into the air. So we've made that part of the base behavior of the new micro-missile frame grenade launcher intrinsic. So you do
Micro-Missile.
super, low self-damage and give yourself a massive physics input.
Ist das vielleicht sogar schon ein Hinweis auf das nächste Arsenal, was kommt hier mit den, ich glaube, die haben ja auch sowas wie Smart Guns in Production, ne? Für
So obviously too is, you know, going into
Final
that and
Shape.
adding just not only to the perk pool, but kind of the intrinsic feel of these weapons. Were there any others in particular when you guys were working on them where you're like, yes, this is how.
Boah,
this
ich liebe einfach
needs to go?
solche-
Like, obviously,
solche Trommel-
Actives and how it got
G-Thumpers.
changed, But is there anything else in that pool that feels like it was really kind of a cool leap forward for these weapons?
I think Blast Furnace is a good example because the Black Armory version rolled with scopes, which, like, everyone would just pick the best scope. Like, internally, we felt like the Rasmussen ISA scope was, like, by far the best. Really, really clean.
Yeah.
And with the changes to damage fall-off on weapons, zoom doesn't matter that much anymore anyway.
Yeah.
So it comes pre-equipped with that scope geometry, but it can roll barrels instead. So you get all the benefits of stats.
Oh, awesome.
Stats are already pretty juiced.
Yeah.
But you have that classic scope geo.
Actually, also, too, to channel chat one more time, as a quick heads up as well, these weapons, while they won't be craftable, they are going to be enhanceable. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So these weapons will retroactively be enhanceable when the final shape comes out. So any drops that you get during this initial period, you'll be able to enhance them.
Excellent. Okay, so you want to make sure to really hold on to those god rolls that Light.gg went ahead and told you about. Yeah. All right, so Tom, you've swapped your loadout now. Is this Blast Furnace? we see?
Yep, Blast
Yeah, he was
Furnace,
talking
bro.
about Blast Furnace, so I thought I'd hop over to it.
It's thematic, yeah.
Nice and smooth, like it always was.
Ja, fühlt sich an, als wäre es ein bisschen schwer. Also sieht jetzt aus, als wäre es schwer. Aber man muss es ja auch irgendwie balancen, das Ding.
As you kind of went ahead and sort of hatched your plans of how players would go about getting these, kind of what role did these weapons play, I guess, in the overall reward structure?
Yeah, of course. So we wanted the rewards of this release to be all about the weapons.
Yeah.
The shining stars, they're awesome. I saw people were asking a little bit about what we're going to be getting from Onslaught.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chests in there, and every single chest has a weapon in it.
Also theoretisch nur diese 12 Weapons halt, ne? Und Currency.
Can react to attunement. So if you attune to a weapon, anytime you see a chest, it's going to happen. So,
Also theoretisch ist das jetzt schon eine etwas, ich würde mal mehr sagen, mehr grindlastigere Expansion oder sag mal in between Micro Expansion.
At higher difficulty, there are 2 chests. They both have weapons in them. And if you keep the ADU alive throughout the entirety of the song, there's another bonus chest available. So you can get a lot. If you just keep yourself kicking and get all the way through there, keep the ADU up. There's a lot of guns to be had.
So those folks who are going to
Ja, wie gesagt, ich glaube, es sind mainly die Weapons, dann die Armor-Sets für jeden Charakter und dann ist nachher, ihr werdet sehen, kommt noch was Geiles, ein geiles Announcement. Und ich glaube, wir müssen spekulieren, Leute, auf jeden Fall zum Ende hin.
It gives players some control over the drops that they get, but it retains the excitement of those drops. Like you'll get your blast furnace dropping from the chest. You don't have to go and focus it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Which, we love that.
Actually, also too is, you guys are also players of the game. Chris, were there any roles or weapons in particular where it was just your personal favorite that you had a lot of fun with in a playtest, or?
Probably of these weapons, my favorite is blast furnace.
Yeah.
With that classic scope and the role that I've got on mine, the role that I'm going
Also ich glaube, meins wäre jetzt hier dieser Grenade Launcher.
Das ist endlich mal ein Trend, der sich gut
Auf Twitch, by the way. Auf Twitch gerade kommt eine Werbung.
Feuchtigkeit bis in die Spitze.
WTF, auf Twitch kommt eine Werbung.
Lass dein Haar nicht hängen.
Boah, Digga, das ist ja gar nicht einer der Mutter.
Von L'Oreal.
Ah, von L'Oreal, Baby. Oh. Ja, dein Mom ist viel wertiger.
which is like just really nasty in PvP.
Yeah.
And that's when they go to
Ich weiß nicht,
a
ey.
few hundred hours.
Warum kommt auf Twitch eine Werbung?
I'll be right
Gut, ich
there,
meine, ich bin recht nah zu
honestly.
Twitch.
The moment I can put Dead Man's Tail down again, then that will be the one that'll pick up immediately after.
Ich hoffe, das gibt mich jetzt nicht in Trouble.
We were talking a little bit earlier. You've been deep into the Onslaught playtests as well. So that means in addition to the Brave Waffen, you've got everything else at your beck and call. What are some cool builds you've been working on, honestly, to go ahead and really emphasize these new weapons?
Das macht echt müde, dieselben Scheiß nochmal zu sehen.
I've been really enjoying Solar Warlock. I found is really fun in Onslaught because you can find a lane and just completely nuke it if you get your unlimited grenades going. You can just completely destroy it. So I've been really partial to Luna's Howl.
Fair.
I tend to get a little feral, a little too excited.
Aber es wird bestimmt so ein Mountaintop ist auch ganz geil. Immer die ganze Zeit rumbouncen, weiß ich, das irgendwie so ADHD-Kitty-Syndrom ist, aber halt so rumbouncen, hochjetten, von oben irgendwas runterdroppen lassen, ein paar Grenades runterregnen lassen.
Also too, we got a question from chat from Lil Camino, I think is how you pronounce the name. My mistake if you didn't get it correct. But just to reiterate, will these weapons be attainable after the final shape arrives?
Achtung, Leute.
Yes, the base weapons will be, but the limited edition variants with those sweet ornaments will not.
Excellent. All right. So again, make sure you go ahead and dive on in. Once,
Diese Weapons sind nur innerhalb dieser 2 Monate
I
erhältlich.
was their card more or less, at least
Ja.
again. Speaking for myself.
Ansonsten ist der Scheiß.
So also too is I heard you guys mention briefly curated roles as well, because kind of like a part of the quest process, was it with SHAXX or Arcite rather?
With our site, yeah.
Thank you. That's right. So is this one that you guys have set up where it's like this is the go-to role? This is from our opinion, like one of our favorites, or what was the process of kind of building those curated roles?
Yeah, we try to deliver something which is like an extremely good role, not necessarily the single perfect role, because we want you to have a reason to go in and get excited for those drops.
Yeah.
But like we would say, they're a 70-80% god roll.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. On the way, certainly.
Yeah.
And also too is remember everyone, we were getting 100 more vault slots once the final shape comes out, so go ahead and just farm away. Now's
Ja,
the time.
theoretisch.
Sorry,
Das ist
you
so.
were going to say something more.
Yeah, we also just wanted to make
Ich
sure
weiß nicht, ob
people
das
weren't
wirklich so richtig
completely
ist,
at
die
the mercy of
Wall-Slots.
RNG when it comes to getting these limited edition variants. So if you log in, you do those quests at our site, you can get one guaranteed copy of a limited edition of each weapon with that curated role.
Yeah. See, we're getting, again, I think, obviously, Tom is here in the heat of battle, so to speak, but the origin trait, we just got another question about, actually. So for the folks at home, it's Indomitability, or?
Yes.
Thank you, all right. And that one, can you, again, walk through that origin trait for us one more time?
Yeah, so on final blows, it grants you
This is
grenade
blessed.
energy if you're running a light subclass.
Here we go. We got it on screen.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah, which would be Arc Void or Solo, or melee energy if you're running a Darkness Stasis or Strand.
Got it. Okay. So I can go in there's a stasis man and just throw all the shurikens I possibly have. Yeah. There's a more technical name for that. I'm sorry. I got it wrong out of the gate. All right, let's see here. And also, too, actually, you know, we talked kind of at the beginning about what it was like to sort of pare down this list of weapons down to 12. Can you tell us a little bit about that process? I can't imagine it was anywhere near as simple.
12 is a really small number when you're looking at that, that set of weapons. And if we'd gone by lists on the internet or even internally, could easily have ended up being half hand cannons. We had to restricted ourselves to 2.
Fair.
There were a lot that could easily have made the cut that we just couldn't fit them in.
Just giving around, baby.
Honestly, though, between Midnight Coup and Luna's
Als ich das vorhin gesehen habe, dachte ich mir, oh scheiße, er macht weiter mit Lost Deck, das Alter. Ja, es dauert noch ein bisschen Zeit der Action, geht jetzt hier gleich noch, aber naja, ansonsten. Also erwartet jetzt nicht mehr aus dem Sektor-Stuff, ne?
You know, recalling all the way back to the Black Armory, you know, that's I think a set of weapons that so many of us think back to so fondly.
Ich hoffe echt, alle Weapons
again, I think one of the
return.
goals here was to go ahead and retain that original feel. You know, you guys went ahead and added in a bunch of new perks. Can you tell us what that process was like in terms of making sure those perks matched up with that feel of the weapon?
Ich finde auch irgendwie genau das hier, was jetzt hier so kommt, diese Explanation, so dieses How-To und Development-Stuff.
We assigned those to different designers and like made sure that the roles that they occupy in the sandbox were sufficiently different. We
Das
also
könnte auch
look at
später
the
kommen,
most
finde ich.
popular roles that the weapons had originally and make sure that those still appear on the weapons. It meant having to redesign some perks which would be too strong in today's sandbox.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But yeah, and then introducing, like when you go and you look at a blast bonus in your vault or something, like, man, I wish I could roll
Einfach geil irgendwie mit dem
X perk
Sniper.
that came out after that, right? Like,
Aber trotzdem, ich finde, das könnte jetzt, dieses Segment könnte jetzt auch locker in irgendeinem Afterstream kommen, in irgendeinem Buy-Doc. So optionales Video oder zum Reinziehen.
There's, in this build, it's called Last Stand. The shipping name is different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a pretty sweet perk. If we could bring up the description of that when Tom is out of danger.
Which weapon is that on?
There was one. It was on Blast Furnace, I think.
Prime, bro. And Prime slot.
Yeah.
Let me shot.
Oh, there we go. All right, well, we'll let him defend himself briefly. But we do have a couple questions from chat as well. So there's one that asks, Flo's Knuckles, I believe. There we go. Can we grind Onslaught multiple times for multiple drops? I'm assuming this is just go ahead and dive on in and grind to your heart's content.
Yes, you'll be getting weapons every run. You'll also be getting currency from SHAXX that you can bring back and you can throw in that chest that I showed you, so you can just keep opening that chest. So yeah, just keep going.
Dive on in, honestly. Yeah, go ahead and chase that roll, whatever you want. Also, too, one more quick question from chat. Mega125358, pardon me, Mega, asks, can you take the limited edition ornament off
Passt auf,
and
Leute.
put it on another copy of the weapon, or is it just on that one weapon?
So you can remove it. You can't put it on something else. It's locked to the weapon that it dropped on.
Makes sense, yeah.
Ihr könnt nicht das Ornament von Into the Light, diese Brave Ornaments, könnt ihr nicht von der Brave Weaponry abmachen. Also ihr könnt
Yeah, that's true.
Ihr könnt es nicht auf andere, ihr könnt es quasi nicht auf andere Weapons draufsetzen. Nur diese 12 Weapons haben dieses Brave Ornament.
Tom, what are you running right now?
I've just been hopping around with all the weapons here. Now I've got Blast Furnace and LC's rifle on. I know double primary isn't always meta, but
we're gonna make it meta for the sake of
they're
this
both pretty solid weapons.
Oh, ich hätte echt gerne Bock mehr
No,
als
here's
gerade
that new perk
Snack
that you
reinzuziehen,
both were
Alter.
talking about, Last Stand. On
Again, reminder, this
Blast
name will be
Furnace.
changing in the live version.
Yep.
Yeah, so weapon final blows grant bonus damage. Melee and grenade final blows grant a larger damage bonus that can stack. So once you get this perk really rolling, it's very strong.
Yeah.
Sustain it.
Nice way to go ahead and clear out a bunch of red bars and then take down that yellow bar with ease if
Yep.
you go ahead and do everything correctly.
Yeah, it ties nicely into the origin trait as well, because the origin trait grants you energy for your abilities, and then you get bonus damage for getting ability final blows.
Yeah, really creates creates that loop, honestly. You just become the self-fulfilling prophecy of death at that point, which as a guardian has never been.
Das sind halt wirklich diese eingestudierten Texte von ihm,
Now,
ne?
we know we touched obviously on Chris's personal favorite being Blast Furnace. Kelsey, was there anything when you saw this land back on the list of the Brave Arsenal where you were like, finally, that one's back?
I was real excited about Luna's Howl.
I mean, that's just smart, honestly.
Für mich ist das wahrscheinlich das Allergeilste, auch vom Design her. Entweder Hammerhead. Ja, wahrscheinlich Hammerhead.
What are your favorite weapons?
Wahrscheinlich jetzt ein bisschen lame, aber ich bin auch wirklich gerade irgendwie desinteressiert an Stück und müde und so, weil ich das ja alles schon gesehen habe und ich weiß, dass nichts mehr Geiles kommt.
Yeah. Like I just love that combo of being.
Na, Recluse vor allem. Ja, hier seht ihr Stabilität, Alter.
And get the damage perk going and feeling really powerful, then being able to switch to the grenade launcher and fire off some like little mini rockets and be able to play around with getting a little more airborne is just like, it's just fun.
I can already imagine some Strand Hunter doing that above me and then immediately diving on top of me in the Crucible.
And I look forward to like, not accidentally blowing myself up, but it's a lot harder to do now. Like I remember with Mountaintop back in the day, I would just like shoot my feet on purpose and like it was usually like an instant death, and so you can really get a lot more up close and personal with it.
Yeah, let's see. Fit nicely into a lot of builds. Honestly, I can already see a Tommy's matchbook build with that. Just floating up there in the sky as a warlock, just murdering everyone. But that is to say, now there's an opportunity for more than just warlocks to be the floating weapon platforms out there in the game. I know, Kelsey. I'm sorry. we can share.
Yes.
We can share the abilities.
Particularly with the redesign of Manticore, there's a fun strategy. I don't know how super effective it is, but like mountaintop to launch yourself way up into the air and switch over to.
Ich muss leider noch zu Ende gucken, aber es wird jetzt nichts Geiles mehr kommen hier.
Just seems like a fever dream I had one time, honestly. Also, too, for the folks at home that may not have seen the Manticore kind of redesign, can you tell us a little bit, too, about how the intrinsic perk on that works now?
Yeah, so it's the base functionality, the way you use the weapon is fairly similar. We've tightened up its activation, so it will no longer activate if you're running downstairs and that kind of thing, which is pretty irritating. You can also just deactivate it by holding reload, and it will do that quick special reload animation.
Oh, very nice.
Before you had to wait for it to expire or like switch off the weapon.
Yeah.
And then the catalyst, instead of just giving you damage resistance, now gives you a void overshield, which of course also gives you damage.
Das benutzt gerade jeder.
Jesus Christ.
Einschlafen und zack, fresh aufwachen.
Oh, so fresh, Bro.
Viel Feuchtigkeit, also
Yeah.
ich sehe den Hype.
Und
Ich auch, Digga. Die Moisture
Lass
ist.
dein Haar nicht hängen.
Mit Vital
Leider gibt's ja keinen Skip-Button.
von L'Oréal Paris.
Oh
Wir
yeah.
sind es uns wert.
Resistance, but can tie into
You go, girl. Boy.
pretty synergistic there.
Very nice, honestly, yeah. Between that, Devour, the whole nine, obviously. This
Hoffentlich kommt jetzt nicht nochmal ein Ad, ey.
Survivability is wild. It also decreases enemy accuracy against you, similar to the always-on-time Sparrow. So
Yeah.
you've got a ton more like damage resistance. You've got an overshield.
Ich frag mich, ob dann auch halt jetzt gleich die Forge Weapons, also gleich alle anderen Forge Weapons kommen. Ich glaube, alle Forge Weapons bis auf klingender Nagel, das Assault Rifle kommt zurück. Habe ich mal gelesen, es war ja in diesem einen Leak-Dokument, in diesem Pastebin-Dokument.
They sound pretty similar.
They do have kind of similar functionality. The big one is that the Golden Tricorn bonus is large, but doesn't stack once you get it. So the uptime on the new perk, whose name I can't remember,
Yep.
it's not in this book, we changed it, is that the uptime is higher.
Excellent. Okay, makes sense. Also, it's we got another chat as well. Chat question, pardon me, I should say. Will the weapon ornaments for Luna's Howl and the Recluse be equipable for the new versions of those weapons?
Yes, they will.
Oh, awesome.
Both for the base versions and for the variants, you can equip any ornaments that you've got. Players have already noticed that some of those are showing up later in the season in the Bright Dust Storm.
For anyone out there that might go ahead and check through the databases, they might have noticed something potentially.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't say yes or no, but maybe. Firm maybe, certainly. Excellent. All right, so we're doing a pretty good job here. Tom, I gotta say, it seems like you're making some pretty good, quick work of these lost sectors.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like he's played them before.
Maybe once or twice, potentially?
It's been a while though.
WTF, Alter. Noch
So, Tom,
extrem
actually
lauter
also, too,
kann
you know,
man
as you've kind of been helping sort of build a lot of what Into the Light is going to be, you know, what was the role that these weapons played? Like, why is SHAXX choosing now to go ahead and re-equip us with this particular set of antiquities?
And part of the idea is that it's like this forbidden arsenal, right? The things that aren't, that we've kind of set aside, at least in the Crucible and other spaces, and now in this kind of dire time with our backs against the wall, we need to, you know, kind of set aside those conventions and you know, really take every advantage we can in the fight against the Witness. And and kind of like, having players in this moment, with Into the Light, it's a great time to hop in and play if you haven't been playing, or if you want to catch up, and we're going to give you the weapons you need to be ready for the final shape. Like, as long as you show up every week, you do the work, you're going to get like an incredible arsenal.
Yeah, particularly if you had been like looking at
Ziemlich motivierter Sound.
Meta.
Ich finde es auch, trotzdem, er ist ja 12 Jahre dabei, also ich finde es gut, dass wenigstens dieser Dude dabei ist, der jetzt 12 Jahre schon dabei ist, halt, weil bringt halt ein bisschen Veteran Value mit rein, ne, zu Destiny.
Also Noah is apparently back at home after last week's stream in chat, cheering everyone on. So if everyone out there wants to give him a quick yeah, great in chat, now's the time.
Ja, der Joke, den ich vorhin gemisst habe, Alter. Aber gut, dass die sich hier auch nochmal drüber lustig machen, finde ich eigentlich auch ganz geil.
I really like auto-loading hoster on mountaintop.
Oh yeah.
I've got a
Hey, wow, Bungie hat mir am Ende nochmal ein Smile rausgekitzelt.
obviously hinges pretty heavily on
einmal
auto-loading
schon.
holster because I never want to stop.
Ein Clap für die.
I'm one of those. I'm sorry, everyone. We're getting some love for Noah in the chat.
Ich frage mich, wie er auch immer den Urge resisten kann, nicht nachzuladen irgendwie. Ich müsste da auch reloaden wahrscheinlich.
Developing kind of this new reward structure. Was there anything about it where you're like, all right, this is the moment, like
This
Onslaught
is
is
the
set
real
up just
deal.
right. Like, what was it like, kind of building this structure
With
for players to
exclusive
go
metal
ahead and just
posters
reinvest in, I
from
guess?
this wide.
I think when we finally got the loot
Yeah, you
explosion
stupid.
going,
Yeah.
there was this whole conversation and how we want it to feel when you open the chest and all this stuff and all these people working together doing tech stuff to make sure it all worked great and everyone
Works
doing their
great.
part, and then
Great.
finally getting in there and just running through and seeing everything just like I guess all of your work just like flying through the air in space was just really satisfying.
Ach man, Leute, ich wünschte, es würde noch geilerer Scheiß passieren, aber es passiert halt nicht mehr viel. Aber wir müssen es durchziehen, Mann.
And world art coming in, the space really started to feel tangible. When SHAXX finally had the guns in his hands.
Macht jemand noch mal ein neues Mixtape irgendwann? SHAXX, Alter.
Like this, you know.
Did you guys have
Shaxxy
that
Smaxy
vision of
Braxy.
all Shaxx's, like right away? You were like, this is how we want it to be, or was it just what was the evolution of that space like when you guys were building it?
It was really fun working with world art and all this stuff.
Oh, sag mal bitte nicht, du
We
machst
had a bunch of
2.
people in the room, everyone who's dedicated to the
macht
space in
echt
some
noch 2.
capacity, and we were just brainstorming together and laughing and coming up with all these fun ideas. So it was a huge collaborative process, and I think that's what's so magical about working in games, is you get to work with all these people who know all these things that you don't, and make something so cool and awesome.
Yeah. Actually, also too, we got one more quick question from chat that caught my eye. Is the Master of Arms perk as powerful as before?
No, it's had to be toned down a little bit.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's still very strong. But yeah, that original version is pretty well.
Kind of in a league of its own, certainly.
Ich weiß echt nicht, ob er jetzt den Sektor macht oder rausgeht.
All right, Tom. So what's your strat right now? Is it basically just Old West gunslinger?
I mean, I haven't had a chance to play with all these guns either, so I'm just having fun over here. Like, you can do your stream over there. I'm just gonna play.
Aber ich habe wahrscheinlich, also, keine Ahnung.
With Midnight Coup here.
Der Midnight Coup wäre auch einer, also Top 3 Guns für mich jetzt schon vom reinen Feeling, wie sie aussehen, so, also vom rein geschätzten Shoot-Feeling. Ich würde sagen, Top 1 ist dieser Grenade Launcher wahrscheinlich. Also entweder Mountaintop oder dieser andere Grenade Launcher. Ich denke, das ist jetzt hier Number 2 dann. Wenn sich Slot 1 halt teilen sich eben zwei, wie gesagt, Mountaintop oder dieses andere Ding jetzt hier. Ich würde sagen, das sieht halt auch aus, als würde es für mich eine Nummer 2 machen. Ich weiß, das ist jetzt ziemlich uninteressante Information, aber ich muss halt irgendwas labern gerade.
I mean, Firefly Kinetic Tremors is really, really strong. I think that was actually the
Jesus Christ. Jesus Lord in heaven, come on, please. Help me get through this.
What else? I think the role that we've got here on Edge Transit, which is
Transito.
Cascade Point left column.
Enter somewhere else.
Being able to just like mag dump a whole drum grenade launcher, it's really strong.
Yeah.
The burst damage potential is wild.
And also too, actually, another question from chat. To get the double perk rolls on the weapons, do you have to do higher level onslaughts, or is there a chance for them to drop with double perks in each column regardless?
There is always a chance.
Ja, ich weiß nicht. Higher Risk, Higher Reward hätte ich jetzt eher gedacht.
Quests from from our site rather, those ones have a higher chance of giving you one of the limited edition variants, or?
Those give you the curated ones,
Those.
right? The
Yes, those are
That's
the
right,
curated
thank you.
ones. So pretty much that's just.
Warum ist der Sektor so lang, Alter?
Anytime you
Come
get
on,
a
please.
brave weapon, there's a chance that it will.
Ich hol mir echt gleich
it
was
will
zum Mampfen, Mann.
have The double perks and the awesome appearance on it. So
Very cool.
that was actually a really fun thing. Once it kind of got that implemented, playing through the first time, you just naturally got one.
Yeah.
Like you'll be in a playtest time. Oh, I got one. I got
Yeah.
a limited edition one. It's just a really.
Ich frage mich, ob die mit ihren privaten Accounts zocken eigentlich auch auf der Arbeit. In die Playtesten. Weil stell dir vor, du hast halt irgendwie einen geilen Roll, ne? Und dann ist es nur auf einem Arbeitsaccount.
Like, oh, that initial set of rolls is pretty cool, and then you click in and you're like,
Magnificent
I can
Horror.
curate this to exactly what I want it to be. Like that moment's always pretty
Ja, wäre irgendwie geil, wenn du dich von der höchsten Höhe. Nee.
Ich
hab nur gedacht, keine Ahnung.
So the Brave arsenal will be able to drop from Onslaught at every stage, was it? Every 10 levels?
Yes, every set.
Excellent. Okay, set. Thank you very much. All right. See, we have the experts here, obviously. All right, Tom. What's next on the list? Which lost sector is going to wilt against your powers?
Which one is the last?
I think I'm
More
gonna
like.
go, and I don't know what it's called, but it's on the top of the rocks here, I think, right? Is
Yeah,
that-
it's
that's
called
where
the stapled rocks.
I think so. You just go ahead and drop on down in.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Those fallen aren't going to be safe for long.
Yeah, can't die from full damage anymore.
Aber wenigstens, Leute, ich kann euch schon sagen, er macht den
That's what we have
Sektor
the
zum
mountain
Glück
to
nicht
do.
durch.
Or to use for rather to get those kills on.
Oh.
Oh, wrong way. This is the right way.
You did it! You already did the lost sector. You can't stop now.
In chat about the pools of perks that are going to be available, the weapons that are going to be available. You and your team over on the weapons team have also gone ahead and authored a blog that will be hitting Bungie.net tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to list out all of the weapons and
Oh.
all of the perks that can appear.
Also morgen gibt's halt quasi einen Blog über alle
We'll be
Weapons.
sure about the perk pools as of tomorrow.
Yeah, excellent. So there will be
Auf
plenty of opportunities for all
Bungie.net.
the build crouchers out there.
Wow, krass Info.
Nuts and kind of imagine their most exciting opportunities, really.
Wäre auch irgendwie mal geiler, wenn Enemy irgendwie so ein
Actually, so also
taktisches
too, you know, we've talked a lot
Reinrennmanöver
about
machen würden, so. Und nicht immer nur direkt in die Bullets rein würden.
What was kind of the inspiration behind that set and kind of bringing it forward now? This is kind of like a first full circle moment rather that I know Tom was mentioning, but you know, why is SHAXX choosing now to equip us with this armor set?
I frankly wasn't as involved in those kind of conversations.
No, it's okay.
It was actually really
Here we go.
fun. Oh, look, beautiful. Kind of waiting to see like.
Leute, Mann. Echt sorry, falls ich wette, bis hierhin hat echt keiner geguckt. Das ist so goddamn boring bis hier.
Yeah, it was, I think
Ich kann's auch
honestly
echt
that first
verstehen.
look at them in the key art, you know. Obviously there was an initial glimpse,
Yeah.
and it's weird because even as
Lange Tage,
Oh, ja, und die werden noch länger durch scheiß Werbeunterbrechung, ey.
deine Haut zu
Oh, 3 Schritte dicker. Ich kenne Eintritt beim Skip weg.
Haut. Zweitens, Pflege für 24
Erstens,
Stunden
piss off.
Feuchtigkeit. Drittens, Augenpflege
Drittens,
gegen
Jesus
Linien und
Christ.
feine Linien. Die neue Hydra Energy Routine von L'Oreal Men Expert.
Yeah. Ernsthaft? Kann man das nicht skippen? Seriously, Mann. In 25 Sekunden, Alter. Jesus Christ. Ich glaube, manchmal was ein bisschen leise hier. Okay, ernsthaft. Das sieht jetzt eigentlich gar nicht mal so scheiße aus. Was ist denn das für ein Game, ne? Ist das Hyperscape oder sowas? Ah, das war das.
good as they looked, they were almost like everyone was just immediately captivated by Onslaught, immediately captivated by like, is that Blast Furnace?
Ich mach jetzt
Is
mal
that one of
36.
Love's Hands? Who knows?
If you're trying to bring back players' favorites, like there is so much nostalgia for that parade armor set.
Yeah.
Bringing that back and updating it a little bit. Like I still run the parade armor set on my character from
Yeah.
time to time. So
Gotta have that classic look, obviously.
Smog, yeah.
And obviously
Nice.
getting a chance to go ahead and chase down Super
Slide
Black
doch mal
doesn't
das Ding
hurt
weg,
either.
ne? So, damit's nicht so sehr nervt.
Looks very cool when you break it out of containment. Won't say much.
Ja, Color Pattern Wise Look, also sieht halt der ganze Scheiß jetzt so mit dieser Gold.
So let's go ahead and take one more quick
Turquoise
run through.
und
is there anything
Violet
else
Mix
actually?
eigentlich schon
I
ganz
know we've
geil
had a chance to walk through the Brave Arsenal. Tom, in particular on your side, you know, we've gone ahead and kind of gone around the horn over here. Is there anything about this kind of new set of weapons and sort of the role they play and Into the Light that's got you excited about kind of the overall sandbox now that we're going to have available to us?
No.
I'm
Joe.
really excited about a lot of these weapons are they're not god rolls, but they're pretty close to it. Like if you show up every week and you do the weekly quest, you're going to get something that is really pretty powerful. And it's going to be like, for example, just looking at like the Hammerhead here, it's got Rampage and Killing Tally on it. That's just incredible.
Never stops
like for
shooting.
PvE, yeah, it just never stops firing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're also increasing damage every time you take an enemy out, which is cool. And like I could look at each one of these weapons too, and they like I think we might have glossed over it earlier, but the edge transit with cascade point, like you get a kill and then you can dump the whole mag in like 2 or 3 seconds, which is really powerful. And I think people are going to find a lot of great synergies between these weapons. Like I was even like mountaintop, recluse, and cascade edge transit felt great. Like I could like use the SMG while my mountaintop is reloading, and then like getting kills with those activates cascade point, and I can swap over and dump the mag for edge transit, and like I can see similar things with hammerhead and for barons, or with Elsie's rifle.
Yeah.
And then like there's also just some classic weapons here that I really miss that I'm really excited for Blast Furnace to be back, and I'm excited to see what it does to the meta with these being like relevant in the power game again and being something that is accessible to players new and old.
Yeah. Someone who spends a lot of time in the Crucible.
Yeah, totally.
I'm terrified already. Proctor, thank you very much for all the hard work on that. See you and yours, obviously. All right, so I think we're probably getting to a point now. We've gone ahead and checked out the rewards. We've checked out the new social space. We've checked out the Brave Arsenal. It's probably about time for us to go ahead and start wrapping things up here. Mr. Tom Farnsworth, when you get an opportunity, feel free to go ahead and
Mr. Tom Farnsworth,
relinquish your hold from the throne world, obviously. This is so fast. Your jump ship was right in orbit.
Ja, er hatte keinen Bock auf Lost Sector, er ist gleich rausgebaut.
Throne world.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's Noah and Kelsey have been keeping it warm for me in there.
That's true. All right, fair enough. Yeah, and again, we can use some sword logic later to expand it when the time comes. Yeah. But for right now, we've gone ahead and done our job. Well, for starters, thank you all so much for taking time to join us to talk us through, obviously, the Hall of Champions, talk us through the Brave Arsenal, through everything with Into the Light. It's been a great show. So thank you guys for starters for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Absolutely. And also to, as a quick reminder, again, to everyone, we'll be back next week, the same Bungie time, same Bungie place, to have another live stream about everything, or some more stuff coming with Destiny 2 Into the Light, including some exotic mission, some exotic mission content and the craftable weapons that'll be available to them. Chat, I saw you mentioning some stuff about that potentially, so come back next week. Also, we'll be going to go ahead and walk through the PvP map pack as well. So if you want to see everything that's going to be coming in those 3 maps, next week will be your time, and there might be a few more additional surprises that we'll have in store for you.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
And also, too, the final thing we're going to go ahead and make sure you close with is, as a quick reminder, of course, with the arrival of the final shape, you'll be able to get 100 more slots in your vault. As you can go ahead and see here on camera, we put it to good use ourselves. We had some edge transit rolls. We knew that this was the time and place to go ahead and slot them in there. So we now have those, thankfully, in safekeeping now for the arrival of the Witness.
We're ready.
Never hurts. All right, everyone. Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time to join us today. We'll see you back here next week at the same Bungie time, same Bungie place. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Starside.
Oh ja, thanks, Digga. Ab geht's, Starside, Digga. Nichts geiler als das, jetzt echt mal Starside abzudampfen. Ich mache mal übrigens leise hier von der Mucke. Ja, also ich weiß echt nicht, was jetzt hier noch kommt, eine Stunde lang. Mucke halt. Mucke mit 3G. Ja, okay. Also ich lasse einfach meinen Background laufen und ziehe mal meine Hack-Phrase wieder ins größere. Ja, okay. Ja. Na gut. Also. Ja, komm, machen wir hier so. Yo, okay, machen wir einfach noch ein bisschen größer. Okay, jetzt noch ein bisschen After-Talk-Stuff. Also ich hoffe, der Scheiß war jetzt nicht zu boring für euch. Für mich war er schon pretty ass boring. Weil ich war ja erstens schon mal hier drin und zweitens, naja, auch so viel Commentator-Quality habe ich jetzt nur auch nicht. Ja, also gute Expectations fürs nächste Mal jetzt ohne. Also morgen kommt der erste. Oder morgen? Ja, die haben ja gesagt, morgen kommt ein Artikel raus. Morgen und dann kommt ja noch übermorgen das Tweet. Also mal sehen, was, wie gesagt, Suggestion, wie wir jetzt zum Schluss ja gehört haben, nächste Woche Exo-Missions-Reveal. Wo ich vorhin gesagt habe, ey, jetzt habe ich eine Idee. Vielleicht ist es ja wieder so ein Quostoff-Ding. Wer weiß es denn, ne? Ich meine, das wäre jetzt wieder so ein. Dieser eine Typ, der dabei war, ist ja auch schon seit 12 Jahren dabei. Die sind offensichtlich ziemlich an sozusagen Hommage-Paying. Irgendwie, ich weiß nicht, ne? Keine Ahnung. Ja, auf jeden Fall vielleicht, wie gesagt, halt die Quostoff oder irgend sowas anderes Destiny-mäßiges. Ich weiß auch nicht, jetzt können wir ja eigentlich theoretisch gleich nochmal ganz kurz rüber auf Bungies Website gehen. Gab nämlich vorhin einfach noch so ein Ding, wo ich... oh, sorry, excuse me, man. Ja, ich glaube, das ist ein bisschen zu laut gerade. Einfach mal... Bungie... Ich weiß auch nicht, warum das jetzt gerade so der fucking... Hallo? scheiße laut ist hier. Also wenn ihr, einfach nur mal eine Sache, die ich euch noch kurz zeigen will. Yo, Folks, okay, erstmal, ich musste hier mal kurz cutten. Erstmal thanks, falls ihr auch bis jetzt hier dran geblieben seid. Ne? Es war schon ziemlich ultimatives Death-Level, critical, boring. Also man war schon ziemlich im kritischen Lebenszustand von diesem Boredom. Ich wollte euch zum Schluss noch was zeigen, was ich auch gemacht habe in einer meiner Aufnahmen. Aber ja, leider habe ich hardcore verschissen. Was halt, ja, ne, mein Overlay wäre am Bild. Und ich wollte euch noch was zeigen, ne? Also, was ich halt immer persönlich geil finde, sind immer diese Icons hier oben, ne? Ich habe jetzt auch mal hier in den Stream nochmal kurz was gestoppt. Gehen wir nochmal hoch. Kann man das nochmal erhöhen von der Qualität? Qualität automatisch. Ja, also höher kann man es halt nicht machen, ne? Hätte ich auch vorhin machen können eigentlich, aber egal. Auf jeden Fall, ihr seht ja hier jetzt diese Icons, ne? Vielleicht kann ich auch nochmal reinzoomen irgendwie. Nee, geht nicht. Also, ne? Ja, das finde ich halt immer geil, hier diese Icons. Wie gesagt, ich finde das allgemein bei Bungie mal ziemlich geil, diese ikonografische Language. Und deswegen bei Bungie.net, ich habe jetzt schon mal aufgerufen hier, das seht ihr ja halt auch quasi, ist ja klar, ihr wisst das ja selbst, aber jede Season hat ja hier, ja, solche Icons, ne? Gehen wir hier mal ganz kurz hier rein. Und dann seht ihr hier beispielsweise Season of the Plunder, das Plunder-Icon hier. Übrigens das hier, ich gehe mal ganz kurz hier, neues Tab öffnen. Das hier ist eine SVG-Datei, SVG, das heißt Scalable Vector Graphic. Das heißt, ihr könntet euch das downloaden und in einem Programm, in einem Vektorprogramm wie Illustrator beispielsweise, einfügen und dann speichern und als PNG exportieren. Und dann hättet ihr ein verlustfreies, ihr könnt euch das so groß ziehen, wie ihr wollt. Es wird von Verlust nicht verlieren. Ist ja ein SVG, ne? Scalable Vector Graphic. Und das macht Bungie aber auch erstmal seit, keine Ahnung, seit... Ich glaube, Season of the Haunted. Season of the Risen hat es noch nicht gemacht, glaube ich. Das ist immer über dem Season Pass. Normalerweise. Siehst du, hier habt ihr zwar auch die Dinge, aber ihr könnt jetzt mal Rechtsklick machen. So. Ja, und da werdet ihr höchstens nur in das Bild weitergeleitet. Aber zum Beispiel hier über dem Season Pass oder hier ist das jetzt hier nicht vorhanden. Es gibt hier kein Scalable Vector Graphic Ding. Das haben die erst mit Season of the Haunted gemacht. Ja. Weil für die Leute, die immer gerne archiven von euch, also oder halt Dinge gerne im Archiv speichern oder sich selber so eine Art Destiny-Archiv machen, ja, wie gesagt, da habt ihr offizielle Icons. Und ich will auch nochmal ganz kurz Bungie ein bisschen Props geben, hier zum Beispiel zu diesem, also Bungies Webdesigner, ne? Ich bin kein Bungie-Simp, aber trotzdem hier zum Beispiel beim Webdesign hier, allgemein das. Ich meine, das ist vielleicht sogar ein Noob-Level von Webdesign, ich habe keine Ahnung. Aber trotzdem, zum Beispiel, wie kriegt man hin, dass hier solche Particles fliegen und so? Und meine Suggestion, also meine Annahme ist halt einfach nur, ihr habt jetzt hier quasi so eine Art Dust Animation und ganz am unteren Layer habt ihr nur diese Shuttles und in dem nächsten Layer habt ihr nur diese Floaty Crust Rocks und in dem nächsten Layer habt ihr diese Guardians und in dem nächsten daraufliegenden Layer habt ihr halt diesen Staub und auf dem habt ihr dann halt die Schrift. Und natürlich haben die dann das halt einfach mit irgendeiner Schleifenanimation hier immer so animiert, dass das immer hin und her shiftet. Also ich muss meine Maus nicht bewegen, das ist, ne, ihr wisst ja, dass das twistet selbst immer rum. Und ich weiß nicht, ob sie es hier auch schon gemacht haben mit dem Season Pass, gehen wir mal kurz rein. Ja, immer dieses, dass es hier immer so aufpoppt. Ich weiß zwar, das ist bestimmt auch nicht so, wow, ich weiß schon, so Tech Magician, oh scheiße, was für ein Cyber-Druide, Alter, was für ein, ne, keine Ahnung, so ein Edge-Runner oder hier, keine Ahnung, was für ein kompletter Runner, Netrunner muss man da sein. Aber ich finde es halt einfach geil, dass es so ist. Wo waren das? Ja, genau, was ich halt auch noch geil finde in Bungies Design ist beispielsweise Season of the Lost. Auch wenn es ein bisschen crappy cropped ist, hier, Marasovs Haare, aber trotzdem, immer wenn ein Teil eines Charakters in so dem nächsten, in diesem nächsten Panel steht. Hier, das haben die getrennt, kurzzeitig hier wieder so gemacht, dass das nach außen fadet. Und hier der Crop. Ihr seht es bei beispielsweise Season of the Splicer, seht ihr es nochmal besser. Ich glaube, da hatten sie auch das direkte Modell von Mithrax irgendwo genommen. Ne? Die Kulisse einfach ausgeblendet und dann habt ihr ja sowas wie eine perfekt ausgeschnittene Kulisse und so, ne? Ja, wie gesagt, das wollte ich euch nur mal zeigen. Ich finde es ziemlich cool und wenn man dann jetzt einfach nochmal direkt auf Bungie geht und dann runter zum Marathon beispielsweise. Achtung. Wieder ein fettes, lautes Noise. Okay, geben wir jetzt einfach mal irgendwas ein. 1996. Das ist jetzt nicht mein Real Birth Date. 1999. Ne? Einfach nur, damit man hier mal reinkommt. Also, persönlich, wie gesagt, ich finde es ziemlich geil, wie das hier eben aussieht. Was bedeutet das hier alles? Das hat ja auch locker alles seine... Also, es ist ja nicht nur eine Hommage an das frühe Marathon und die gesamten AI-Dinge, die da in Marathon früher gingen. Aber was bedeuten beispielsweise diese Codes hier? Oder einfach nur diese Digits? Was heißen die? Was drücken die aus? Das ist sicher halt immer nur so eine Bezeichnung für so ein Bild oder sowas, ne? Finde ich auch geil, dass ja dein Cursor sich in so ein Play changed. Und ja, beispielsweise, was bedeutet das? Warte mal, hier unten war es. Hier unten war es irgendwo. Ja, also ich denke mal, das ist halt irgendwie das Jahr, in dem Marathon dann spielt. Aber das, was das hier drüben alles heißt, keine Ahnung. Das ist sicher wieder irgendwie so ein Terminal-Interface-Zeug. Also, ja. Ansonsten, ich wollte euch das nur nochmal zeigen, weil ich es halt persönlich geil finde. Ja, das war's dann. Also, later!